So around 2015, when I was still firmly entrenched in corporate life, I had this flame inside, this entrepreneurial flame. I'm not sure quite where it came from, but I learned to fan those flames, to pay attention to it, knowing that I was meant for something beyond corporate life, but I couldn't conceive at all what that meant or what it would take. And fast forward, you've probably seen much of my story so far, but now in 2025, I've been out of corporate fully for 3 years and I've been doing entrepreneurship for about 8 overall. So it's been a lot of moves, a lot of putting myself in different environments, creating conditions to force the sort of change that my heart was after. Now I run an online business I love, do it with my wife. We support people and impact lives in ways I could have never imagined, and we earn a great living from it. So, lots more growth to work through, obviously, but wanted to share with you just real time the trade offs I've had to experience, and maybe you call that sacrifice. But I had this question come up recently in one of our group coaching sessions. So here I am talking about it. So, first off, I want to talk about what I gave up and then what I had to go through as I was giving up, and then ultimately what I gained on the other side of this move. First, let's talk about what I gave up. Number one is status symbols. I had a lot of them. I had these credentials, these logos for companies I was working for and consulting to. It was getting me onto speaking stages in front of large crowds. I was able to write in publications like Harvard Business Review. It opened up a lot of doors. It felt good. I felt proud of myself. I felt like I had made it. Again, by the standards that I was taught growing up, I felt successful. And of course, it created a good life for my family. Also, the status opened up new types of things, new forms of status, like the prestige of constant travel, of being on the road 3 to 4 weeks a month all over the globe, and the elite status you get through airlines and hotels, the elite this, the black card that, the special lounges, the endless points that I could use. I had all of that. I had to give that up. So, status, big thing. Number two, I had to give up the security blanket of regular paycheck and benefits. It felt like an absolute must have for all those years coming into the workforce for 15 years. And I didn't know anything else. So, it felt like something I had to have. It was this close your eyes and let it happen feeling where the money just kept rolling in on a every 2 weeks or 4 weeks basis. The benefits kicked in. You paid $5 for the birth of a child. Things like this, I kind of laugh at now because it was so regular, so certain. It felt like I didn't really even have to try, if you know what I mean, because the security blanket was so strong. And then I also had to give up number three, this professional identity that I had built over the years, this reputation around management consulting and technology strategy and cybersecurity. Those were the areas I spent my time. And I felt good about that. I felt like I could promote that to people like it had worth, it had value. All the business degrees, the masters of this, the graduate of that, the special certifications. I gave all of it up. And even the identity where I had relationships, people in industry forums, at conferences, at work. I had to give all that up too, all those relationships. So, status, security, professional identity, it all went away. Now, over the years, and this was kind of a gradual process, I went through this mourning period where there was this really big emotional journey of letting it all go. And I had to watch my status fade month by month. Literal things like corporate bonus money, having to drain that specific bank account to service the build out of my new life, or losing the elite status on United Airlines or at some hotel chain. I lost all of that bit by bit. Some of it still hangs around, which I'm a bit curious about. Must be lifetime status, but I digress. I had to normalize the loss of types of income, relationships, benefits, and identity. It all makes sense that if you're going to create a new life, you have to leave behind the old one, right? But still, it hurt. It was a period of, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm giving this up. Now, what did I gain? What have I gained so far on the other side of this transformation? A few things. Freedom and presence. This one jumps out big time, that I feel like I get to control my days. I kid you not when I say that, where mornings are mine. I do not allow morning meetings. I wake up on weekdays with reading, meditation, breath work, writing, journaling, great coffee, hugging my littlest son and getting him out the door to daycare each day, being there for my wife. Like that truly is my norm. Not sometimes, but truly is my norm. And nothing disrupts that. Literally nothing. And I get to be really present for them and all four of my kids. And whether it's baseball or rugby or some school events or teaching my daughter how to drive, getting her ready for college, all these things I get to be there for now, which I didn't before. I was always distracted. Even if I was there with them, I wasn't actually there mentally. And that hurt knowing that. Secondly, what I've gained is true meaningful impact. You know that thing where you might work for a company or a cause and you're part of like some massive organization that's so-called changing the world, and you do this little like wrench turning thing, like you're a cog in the machine, and you don't know how it truly amounts to any tangible change out there in the world. That was my life. Maybe you felt the same way too. But now, flip that. I get to see this direct, traceable, positive influence on people's lives, where I literally get cards in the mail sometimes from my clients or their spouses saying, "Oh my goodness, Joe, Susie is back. We've reclaimed the person in our life that we wanted. Oh my goodness, thank you for helping me build this business, for helping me leave corporate life once and for all, for helping me create this new existence, this boldness, this new identity. Someone who doesn't take shit, that actually does what they say they're going to do." Like, this is true, meaningful impact, and I get to see it, hear it every single day. That aligns with my deepest values about what I want to be doing on this planet. I get to share it with Cecilia each day too, as her being part of this business. That's another thing I've gained, impact. Thirdly, personal growth has been off the charts. What I've had to do to become the founder and CEO of something, to understand every element of a business. My business is comparatively small to most businesses in this world. I still think it's thriving. It makes amazing money. It does lots of good, but I've had to learn everything from positioning, marketing, sales, delivery, operations. I never had to learn that full end-to-end stack in corporate life. I had one small wrench to turn in a giant machine. This is amazing because once an entrepreneur, always an entrepreneur. And I'm excited every single day to wake up to be able to do the right thing and learn something else and put myself in a situation to create real growth for our business and for those people that we're aiming to serve in this world. And I've had to build essentially this infinite skill set that allows me to have continual reinvention my whole life. Again, once an entrepreneur, always one. I don't have to learn the latest tech or certification and say, "Hey, employer, pick me." I don't have to do that anymore. That hurt. I hated that. I did. But now I know how to create something out of nothing. Took years to figure that out, but now I know how to do it, and I can do it again and again. And the last piece of what I've gained is authentic relationships. My best friends ever have come through business. And that's just in the last few years. When I say best friends, it's the deepest, most vulnerable, most open, most growth oriented relationships possible. No superficial, "Hey, let's talk about the game." It's like, no, like, what is going on in your world right now? What are you not saying to yourself in the mirror? How can I help you, my friend? What can I do for your family? How can I be there for you in ways that you need right now? Like those types of relationships. Never had those really growing up. Just being honest, I never did. So my business relationships have become my best friendships. And that was something I didn't know I needed, but my goodness, it's everything. I get to text these amazing people each day, and we get to talk about what we're doing and how we're changing the world. It's amazing. So yeah, that's a lot. I had to give up a lot, makes sense, in order to then gain a lot. And I'll tell you, I don't miss anything of the old life. I do not miss the stable paycheck. I kid you not, because I know what it costs to maintain that. I would never, I would never go back. I would never go back. And it means too much to me to be the designer of my own life. This aliveness, this awakening that comes from creating your own path. And it's just absolutely priceless to me. I feel alive, and I wouldn't trade that for the world. So that's my honest reflection. People wanted to know what the trade-offs were in moving from corporate to entrepreneurship for you. I had to leave behind status, security blanket, that old professional identity, and now I've got freedom, meaningful impact, real personal growth, and the best authentic relationships I've ever had in my life. And I wouldn't trade that for the world. So that's what I got. If you need any help like this, check out matthewdoan.com. If you need this sort of transformation, we've got a bunch of resources there, a masterclass. And if you feel compelled to, please book a call with us and see if this sort of journey would be useful, only if it feels right to you. But thanks for hearing me out. Rant over. Talk to you soon.